This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Well, fat people, we really hate it. I'm speaking for all fat people. We hate being hot. Show me one fat person that likes being hot, and I'm have some words with them. Like, why are you playing? You don't like being hot, bro.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
The little things that I appreciate now in life, and this gas station is the gas station of all gas stations.
And what makes it so special?
It's got like a coffee bar in there, kind of.
It is the last day ever of the month of January in the year of 2023. My name is Corey Winfield. This is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Joining me on the phone, I guess, special guest. Give it up for my man, Tyrone.
What's happening, Mr. Winfield?
A little delay there. Hey, what's happening is it's a sunny, beautiful, cold day in Michigan.
Yes, it is. Nice and frisky out there, Mr. Winfield.
It is. And you stay a little bit north of where I stay. What's the temperature there?
Oh, I think it's around 10 or 9 degrees.
Dang. 10 or 9. So a lot of people, when it's cold outside, and this may sound weird, but they stay inside.
Yes, that's where I'm at now.
Where it's nice and warm. And a lot of people, when it's cold outside, they just think, you know what? Let's just take a nap. And the reason why I'm mentioning naps is because, Tyrone, I know that you live in like the spider belt of America. Where you have like thousands of spiders every year.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And
yes, I do.
I want to see if you agree with this. Okay, because it is said that people eat at least 70 bugs during their sleep, during their lifetime, and 10 of them are spiders.
Well, I have to disagree with that one there, Mr. Winfield, unless I'm eating them and dreaming.
Well, I think they just crawl in your mouth and just go down your throat.
Oh, man. If that happened, Winfield, I think I'd be Spider-Man.
Well, I think you already are, because I used to live with you, Tyrone. And so I've heard you wake up and go and cough a little bit. I mean, everybody's done that, right? Where you just kind of wake up and start coughing and you're like, oh, man, give me a drink of something, you know, and you reach over, get a drink of water. Ooh, you go right back to sleep. But what had really happened was you ate a spider.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What kind of a spider? A tarantula spider? A brown spider?
All kinds of flavors.
Oh, man.
So I think you've eaten probably 10 in the last 6 months.
Man.
Because I was doing the math. I've seen one spider, and we've lived here for like 3 years. You've seen 18,000 spiders. And you live there for 1 year. So if you do the math, the equation, you've eaten like 200 spiders this year.
Man, you know what, Mr. Winfield? I'm thinking I'm going to change my name to Peter Parker.
You could. You know, and Peter Parker would fit you. People, you'd see you and they'd be like, Peter Parker. And you'd be like, yeah. Middle name, Tyrone. We get you down to the... Where'd you go, to the Secretary of State to do that, or you go to a courthouse?
Oh, man, to get my name changed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, let's see here. Well, the people gave me that name. They see me hanging on a tree.
So when people hit you with the, hey, Pete, are you going to correct them and say it's Peter?
Because, Peter's name he already claimed that name.
All right. We'll just maybe change your middle name to Spider-Man. Tyrone Spider-Man.
There you go.
Now, I know people are probably tuning in thinking, I thought this was a recovery podcast. But see, what they're failing to realize is we're just having fun. We're having fun in recovery, and that's something that's good. And Tyrone, how much clean time do you have? I know you don't count, but it's over 3 years.
Somewhere around in there. I don't even count, Mr. Winfield.
Because we met, I had 9 months, I think, 9 or 10 months. And you were just kind of getting into it. So I'm like 10 months ahead of you. So yeah, you'll, in like October, you'll have your 4 years.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
Man, yeah, in Winfield. And I tell you, Winfield, I've been trying to tone my body up and, trying to get a little exercise in there. I do good at one point, and then I buy the cakes and chips and pop again, get back started, and I think I threw my scale away because it go up, down. So now I'm not really, too much worried about it.
Well,
it's just something about when you quit, Winfield, you eat more. It seems like it, it's your appetite. Well, mine. I'm gonna speak on mine. My appetite calls for sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love sweets.
Just be lucky the ice cream didn't hit you yet. Ice cream will get you, man, and it'll add on them pounds quick.
Yeah, but it seemed like when I was using, I didn't eat all that. Well, I guess I wasn't interested in that at the time.
Yeah, you didn't really have money for ice cream.
Oh no! Oh no! If I did have money for ice cream, it's gonna go towards drugs.
Yeah. Maybe a fish sandwich or some kind of sandwich from fast food place or something, but if that,
well, it's got to cost can't go over $1. It's got to be like 98.99 cents,
That's so crazy that's how we used to live. And now you're buying couches and all kinds of sweets from the store. Throwing scales away.
Well, Winfield, you start directing your money toward a different way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you start directing it a different way because when you don't spend no more on the drugs, you direct your money in a different positive way then.
And some people,
but that's a good thing.
Some people in early recovery, they look at things that are impossible. At least to them, they think it's impossible. Like, hey, I'm going to save up to get a car.
Yeah.
To somebody who is living paycheck to paycheck and then spending all your money on drugs, stuff like that, alcohol, it does seem impossible because you're not seeing all that money that you could have been saving. And we all want it now,
Yes, that's right. But Winfield, I had a coincidence just about 4 days ago. I went and got my income taxes done at H&R Block. And so the lady from H&R Block called me back and said, did I have my ID stolen? And I did have my ID stolen when I stayed in Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
Ooh.
So, Mr. Winfield, I had to call the IRS in the couple of days ago in the morning to get an IP number.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
and so that was kind of frustrating. I had to stay on the phone almost about an hour and a half, and it was kind of a little distracting a little bit, but I'm glad I had the patience to wait and go through it,
Yeah, because sometimes you have a plan of, I'm going to go to H&R Block, get my taxes done, get that money started, and then you're like,
man,
yeah.
Why is this always?
Exactly.
It's nothing that you even did. It had nothing to do with you. Except it did have to do with you, but nothing that you did on your own. It's just like, oh. But that's life.
And so we got it together, and so they say that give them 28 days the letter should come to me.
Mm.
And every year I gotta go and get that letter renewed, so they keep giving me different numbers.
Damn.
And yeah, and I said, oh man, I'm getting this income tax in a couple of weeks. Now it's done delayed, but I'm not upset there. I'm not upset because now you know, if I was probably on drugs or whatever, I'd be counting down the days for when it comes, you know. But now I'm patient, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes, you know.
Yeah, I was told to do our taxes like over the weekend, and I was like, yeah, I'll do them. You know how that goes. And then I wasn't feeling well on Saturday, and then I don't know, Sunday came. I don't think I was feeling well, and I just kept putting it off. And then yesterday came, I was busy. And then so today I was going to get on it, right? And I realized that the stuff that I had done over the summer for addiction treatment services, I was actually an independent contractor. So I didn't have a W-2 from them. So I had to reach out and ask for a 1099 that shows that they paid me and that I guess I'm running my own business. So now I got to pay like business tax on top of other tax. It's like, oh no. Can't wait to tell wifey that one.
Oh boy.
Because I ain't paid a dime yet. And then if you're a contractor, this is something I just found out as I just realized I was one. You're supposed to pay those like every quarter.
Huh.
So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Wow.
Maybe I should go to H&R Block.
Oh, you know when Phil, I remember we used to go to the post office and get the paper to do them.
Mm.
You know, I just had just a little short form. It took her like 12 minutes for $175.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you know. You know, but it's all, you know, it was all good. But you know, the main thing was, you know, that I was, you know, clean doing it and patient. You have to have patience is a big quality in life.
Mm-hmm.
Patient, especially when you're making calls and you get these robots answering the phone. It takes patience. It takes patience and you know, sometimes, you know, when you be pressing they tell you to press 1, 2, and 3, and you press all this stuff here, and you still have to leave a message. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to be patient. You know, just prepare yourself. That you know, a couple of hours. You know, a couple of hours.
Yeah, and then just don't put it off to the final, because then I realized today too that, again, just realizing today that I'm an independent contractor, you're supposed to file them quarterly. And then there's something that said like by January. Well, again, you heard when I started the podcast, this is the last day of January. So I don't know. I was talking to my brother who's an accountant about other stuff. And he's like, yeah, don't be a minute late when you're a business. Don't be a day late. He's like, them fees, they start immediately. And you don't want to get on the bad side. And I was like, oh my God. So now I'm like, oh geez, is this going to be something that, I don't know, man. I'm just worried. So yeah, be patient, but don't procrastinate, I guess would be the moral of the story there.
That's it. You know, I know a lot of times I used to run into problems like that. I want to go use, you know. And then when that happened, oh man, everything gets screwed up then, you know. But yeah, you know, but now, you know, I just be patient and just go with the flow. When you just have to go with the flow, and main thing is just be patient and just keep your head on straight, you know. And everything be okay.
Something else I want to talk with you about today too was our past.
Sir.
Our past.
Oh boy.
And here's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Back when I was in radio, I moved back to Michigan in 2015. In August of 2015, things were going okay, and then they weren't. And by early 2016, I was out of radio. And I thought I had screwed up my whole career, my whole life. I thought I had screwed it up. And I started drinking again, and that wasn't good. And that's when I started going on my rehab, my rehab tour of Michigan. And I just thought that I had screwed my whole life up by taking that job and moving back to Michigan, because I was a program director. I was on 2 different stations doing afternoon drive. I was promotions director of the cluster. My boss had told me I could have stayed there forever. And I screwed it up to come back home to a not rated market. Like, it's not even rated. Benton Harbor, it wasn't even rated. So it was like 20 steps back in my career. And I was just kicking myself thinking, what did I do? What did I do? And I wasn't really holding on to, I was on the radio. I was just holding on to, like, I screwed up my whole life.
Yeah.
And then it's funny how things work. Because in that moment, that's what I thought. That's what I really believed. I thought I had screwed myself over. And we don't know what God has in store for us, see?
That's right.
But then things start falling into place. I stopped trying to do things my way. I stopped trying to cheat the system, whether it be, I'll just smoke pot. I went through that phase. I'll just smoke pot. And then I'm smoking pot, and I'm like, well, this isn't the same pot I smoked when I was like 20, 22. This is, I can't even get off the couch. Like, this is stupid. Like, who wants to be that high? And that's not what my mind is wanting. My mind wants that alcohol. So then I was just like, I'll justify it. I'll just smoke a bowl. I'll smoke a little bit of weed, and I'll drink a half pint, because half pint sounds better than, a pint or a fifth or a 12 pack. But it's 100 proof. So I might as well just, get a 12 pack. And then the next night, I'm calling up a friend going, hey, man, you want the rest of this weed? Bring me over a fifth. So it went right back to the alcohol, which it did every time. But so I stopped trying to do things my way. And, thank God I got arrested, and thank God I didn't kill anybody, but that is exactly what I needed. And God knew that. My sister said she was praying for me to get arrested, because she thought that was the only thing that was going to stop me.
Right.
And that's pretty much what happened. And then when I just started letting go and just like, all right, well, I'm going to get this year finally. I'm going to get a year clean, and I'm going to go live in sober living, and then opportunity to manage a sober living home where I met you. I remember when you first came in there, I was like, wait, who's this guy? And they're like, Tyrone. I was like, I don't know who he is. And like, well, he's at the treatment center you're working at. And I was like, I had never seen him. And then the first time I met you, I was like, oh, you're Tyrone. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the house manager. You're like,
I was Spider-Man. I was hanging in the corner.
No, you're like, I'm going to need you to run me to the Secretary of State. I need you to take me to get some food. I was like, I don't know what you think this is, man. I'm not a taxi.
And Winfield, that's something that you mentioned, that when you get clean, now you want to take care of all of your garbage, which you're supposed to have taken care of. You want to do it all in one day.
Yep.
That's how I did when I came. I want to take care of everything in one day. Get my license, get my social security number, get groceries, get clothes. I want to do everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to realize, though, I ain't got no car to get there. I'm gonna get there. Oh, you don't think about that. And then if somebody did have a car, you say, I got to see what are they doing, because me, I didn't care when I was using. I didn't care what you had to do. Hey man, run me now. This blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But now you get you get affectionate back, and you start thinking, let me see what this person has here. Let me see what his schedule is, and because you be racing at first, but just like you say, just slow down and everything come together.
Yep. Just don't get frustrated
Okay.
if it doesn't work out how you plan it.
Oh,
Just know you're in for the long haul, and it should be good. But I got to ask you though, because you came from Detroit area,
yeah.
and when you came up north, you had to know, like, there's a lot of white people up there. Like, it's not where you grew up.
Right.
Different culture, different people, different everything.
Right.
Did that worry you at all? Or you just wanted so far away from them drugs?
Yeah, Corey, it didn't matter. I still got high with white people down there. I got high with everybody down there. At the time, it didn't matter. All I know, I just wanted out.
Mm.
I wanted out. I give my money to. I was spending my money when I had the money. I was spending it with the dope man, and then when I had a couple of dollars, he didn't want us. He didn't want to answer his phone. and Corey, sometimes that really makes you go off. That makes you sometimes that makes you see, man, wow, all he wants is my money. But then when I don't have no money there, now he won't answer his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of got sick of that, and get away from that. You have to free your mind. You really have to free your mind. Get away from everybody.
I kind of did the same thing. Like, going back to Southwest Michigan, I was like, what is there for me there? Like, not a lot. So to really start over, and I wasn't running from my problems. I wasn't running from, having a drinking disorder or whatever. I just wanted a fresh start somewhere, somewhere I could walk into a store. Nobody knew who I was. I could just walk in, get my groceries, just really start fresh.
Right.
I've heard, well, actually this one woman, she left treatment. She's like, oh, and she left with a man, and we're going to go to Florida and murder. And then, like, I just shook my head, I was like, all right, I can tell you how that's going to work out. And she's like, no, because we're going to be the ones that make it. And I was like, okay. And then, like, 2 weeks later, she's like, well, I guess you were right. And I was like, well, just saying, if you just wanted to go to Florida on your own, sure. But to hook up with somebody in treatment and then be like, we're going to go to Florida. I was like, okay.
Oh man, not the treatment center. Oh, I think, Corey, we see a lot of people do that, and I don't think nobody survived, was successful.
Not really. And some people are like, oh, you and Marnie met in treatment, and I was like, no.
No, you didn't. I didn't meet in the treatment.
No. I mean, she was at the treatment center that I worked at, but it wasn't like that. We weren't like shooting looks at each other, winking, or, I was very respectable there when I worked there, and I wasn't crossing any lines, and actually shot her down a few times at first and was like, no. She's like, I just want to go to a meeting. And then she threw it back in my face and was like, you're the one that says when you see people that are doing good, stick with them. And do what they're doing, like those are the people you need to hang out with. And I was like, yeah, I did say that, but I heard it from somebody else, I was like, so whatever. And then when I realized I didn't want to work at that place anymore because it was just about money. And the guy came out and was like, the CEO was like, we're not trying to be the best treatment center in Michigan. We're trying to be the biggest. And I was like, nah, I can't work here no more, man. I'm out. Like, I take this stuff way too personal.
But you see though, Winfield, you was clean enough to, you had your mind back. Now you got your thinking now.
Mm-hmm.
Because all jobs, all jobs are not for people, but but when you're in treatment, when you're getting out of treatment or whatever, that sometimes you take the first thing that come to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you had good common sense to you keep your job until one come up. You just don't quit and then you just wait for a job. You quit one, you had another one lined up.
Well, I kind of just quit that one without anything lined up. But it felt good, and you were kind of responsible for that. Because I remember it was like, and I don't know if you remember or not. It was, I traded Thanksgiving. I was working at the treatment center, and I traded Thanksgiving and said, "Look, if you give me Thanksgiving off, I'll come back and work Christmas." And I kind of made a big deal about it. And then at Christmas, I was ready to go to Benton Harbor downstate, and I was like, "All right, guys, I'll see you later." And you were like, "Whoa, I thought you were working Christmas or something like that." And I was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna stay down there. I'm done with that place." And you're like, "Oh, okay." And I always told you guys, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Right.
And so you like threw that back in my face saying, "Oh, okay. So we got to do that, but it's okay for you not to." And I was like, "You MFer." I was like, "All right, you're right. Damn you, Tyrone. Thanks for calling me out." So yeah, so I came back Christmas, worked that night, and I sent an email and said I need my 90-day review immediately because I couldn't take it anymore. And so I went into the 90-day review and I was just like, can't do it anymore. And they were like, "Yeah, we're thinking the same. It's not working out." I'm like, "It's really messing with my sobriety." So they're like, "Okay, right. Well, we felt the same," because I wasn't a yes man and they liked those. So,
right.
But I remember coming home, I was so happy, and I was driving home and I was like, I don't have a job. I don't know where I'm gonna get my money from, but I have never been happier in my life. Like I felt so free. And I was like, besides radio, because I would, quit one job to go to another one, I'd already have it lined up. But other than that, like, I don't think I've ever really quit a job the right way like that.
Yeah. But the main thing is though, that you stay clean though.
I did. And
I probably would have used, and you stay clean.
A sense of dignity, like pride.
That's right. That's a hard thing, Winfield, to quit a job, and especially when you don't have another one, And then especially when you get your check from the one job, but you just quit. Doom. It's just like a boxing match. You sit down, and then you come out, you hear the bell go ding ding. Then you gotta get up and fight. That's how the drugs were called.
Mm-hmm.
Go ding ding.
Yeah, and then
you did a good job. You did a good job, though.
And then, like a couple weeks later, I kind of felt bad for Ryan Beckman because I think it was because of me and being associated with 217 Recovery is that he got fired. And I thought he was really thinking, because I remember him talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I think they're gonna, give me a raise and promote me." And I'm like, "I don't think so, dude. I think they're gonna fire you, but whatever." And he was like really sad and hurt by it, and he ended up like trying to do odd and end stuff. I don't really know what he's doing now. Hopefully he's doing all right. Yeah. Whatever. But like we both handled it like total different. Well, I was done with that place though, and I think he still wanted to work there. Yeah. And I just no thanks. Like I don't want to be around people like that. And then that's what you have to do for yourself.
That's right. And then, Mr. Winfield, a couple of things I learned out too. When you are in treatment, or you've been in treatment and you lose jobs or whatever, that MRS, they help you out.
Explain MRS to people.
MRS is Michigan Rehabilitation Center, and what they do is they help you find jobs. They help you with even if you have a job, they help you get, like, if you need shoes. They do whatever it is to accommodate you, to make your job go smoother. I know people. My buddy Mike, he went through MRS looking for a job. They helped him fix his car so he could get back and forth to work. And me, I went through MRS. I was working 2 jobs. They found me 2 jobs, and I worked both of them until I see which one I like best in 4 weeks. And MRS, they help out people like us, people who have alcohol and drug problems.
So it's Michigan Rehabilitation Services. Obviously, that's just people in Michigan. So people listening in Arkansas, and Florida. Sorry, but your state might have one too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, probably in a different name.
Right.
But yeah, but it's an excellent place. It's excellent. But it might take a little bit to get through because with the pandemic, the telephone, you might have to use some messages but I recommend it.
Well, a lot of people nowadays, Tyrone, use a computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Miss Winfield, I'm an older guy. And man, I tell you, them computers, them computers, ooh-wee. Maybe I better call MRS back and give me a computer class.
Hey, is that something they offer? You should find out.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a fantasy football class that you and I both can take.
Yeah, get that last place there. Especially, how you start a race. You start winning, you get the first step.
Mm-hmm.
But then it always seems like I always lose.
Yeah, 12th place. I mean, at least you're consistent 2 years in a row. I mean, that's...
Yeah. I remember I was on a winning streak there. Man, I said, wow, I'm beating everybody here. I was like the third best team,
Yeah.
But that ended awfully quickly there.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you pick David Carr as your quarterback, I guess. You had some injuries, though. You really did. You had some injuries on your team, and you had 4 tight ends. I don't know why, but just little things. No, but yeah, we played for the toilet bowl. Well, not even the toilet bowl. We played for last place, and I was like, please, Lord, let me beat Tyrone. And you're like, you should have started Goff because Goff had a good game that day, but I started Dak Prescott. I think that was his only good game of the year. So I really didn't need that. And this, another proof that God does answer prayers. It's a real thing. You just gotta pray for him.
But you know what though, Corey? But I can't wait till next year because now I understand it a little better now.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have a better understanding, and it's just like with staying clean, you start noticing yourself, a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding yourself better, and then and I sometimes when I'm at work, I run to a lot of, especially people who drink. I run against a lot of them,
Right.
And I can't cut them down because one guy was asking me, dragon milk. You ever heard of that, Corey?
No.
Dragon milk, I guess it's a beer or something. But anyway, 4 bottles cost almost like $20. And so he said, man, how's this? And I said, well, I don't know. I say, I don't drink, but give it a shot, I don't know. I don't know.
Right. And that's a good point, though, not to take it out on other people. But you never really were a drinker, but
no,
you're not going to substitute. You're not going to start drinking today because some people do that. Like, that's not my drug of choice. I can drink. Again, like me trying to smoke pot. It's not going to work. But yeah, to take it out on other people and to be miserable, like that's another thing. Like you and I, we're not miserable in recovery. Like we're having fun with it. Like we're enjoying life for the first time in a long time.
Oh, I see that in some people that, you try to get clean and you snap on people and, but you just, sometimes I think that the person is just mad because, because you're addicted or whatever, but you like you say, of course, you still have fun,
Yeah. And we came to a
still
point.
Have fun.
We came to a point in both of our lives, and again, it's pretty similar. I went to Grand Rapids. I went to a sober living home, and I didn't really take it serious though. But I was it was like me and one other white guy, you know, and the rest were black guys. And the other white guy was, he was like not right. So like, I kind of think it made me look a little bad too, you know, because I'm like, dude, like, you got to pull your shit together, man. Like, what are you doing? But I was out of place, you know, and at that time I didn't care, you know, like you said, you know, I've drank with all kinds of different people, right. And if I can drink with somebody, I can get sober with them, you know, and the problem though, I wasn't ready at that time, you know, but there did come a time where it was like, all right, I have an opportunity to go back home after treatment, back down the state. My apartment's gone, so I have to live back with my mom, or I can man up and be like, I got to figure this out, and I can do this on my own, and go to a place I didn't know anybody up here either, and just start making my own way. And you did kind of the same thing too, and it's just you got to get to that point of stop listening to your drug of choice, because your drug of choice, it didn't want you going up north. It didn't want me going up north either.
Oh no, man! You know, Winfield, you learn a lot. You know, because you can't stay in treatment and in a transition house forever. You know.
Nope.
You know, that's just another step you go through in life. And you have to get out. You have to go to libraries, to talk to people, and find places to stay. And that's a frustrating part there. That's frustrating, finding a place to stay. Oh.
Yeah, I was taking a woman yesterday to treatment. And what I'm about to say might freak some people out. But if you look at it and the meaning behind it and what she said, it's kind of an encouraging thing. She was asking about sober living when she got out, and I gave her some suggestions about, you know, where she wanted to live and where she was going. And I said, your insurance will pay, since she's on Medicaid. If you're on Medicaid in Michigan, they will. They'll pay for up to 90 days in sober living. And her response was, oh, good. That'll give me time to get a place. Which some people might, oh man, like why would she want to be out of there in 90 days? Like, she should want to stay for a year, you know, like some people want to stay for 40 years. Some people move in and they think it's their house, you know, and it's like, nah, you just got a bed over there, man. Like, don't get too comfortable.
That's it. We all get comfortable, you know, we get comfortable until it's just like a TV bill or a phone bill. We get comfortable until the bill comes.
Yeah.
And the bill gonna shut your phone off, man. But you know, you have to go out and you have to look while you staying there. And I don't know if you have your job or whatever there. You know, you have to look for work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to start everything over again. You know, and that could be frustrating, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, and she just by looking at it like, okay, cool, that'll give me time to get a place and look for a place, because some people just use it and just milk it all up. And the next thing you know, they get a bill. Oh, now you got to start paying. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. But you know, back in Detroit when I was in I didn't go to the transition house, but I've seen people in the transition house when their time is up, they get mad and they get real upset because they have to leave and other people are ready to come in and they get upset and then I see a lot of people use after that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of their anger, you know. But you know, you can't blame nobody but yourself because you're the one who should have been going out looking. You should have been the one, you know, active in your looking for a place. But then, Corey, and then another thing is, though, sometimes we think, I know that we're addicted, to a substance or whatever. Then we think that other people should be finding us a place.
Yeah, there's, and that's so confusing to me about the entitlement of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was like that. I would like to think I wasn't, but I don't really know what kind of state of mind I was in.
Right. And then you get mad. You get mad. Here it is. I sit there and say, "Here, Corey, here's a piece of paper. Call some of these places there." And you get mad at me. You think that I should be calling them for you now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was one time I was at a treatment place and the guy was like, "All right, let's go over your aftercare plan. Do you have anywhere to stay?" And I said, "No." I was staying in my car. He's like, "Well, at least you have a car." And I was like, "What about? So can I go someplace else?" Like, no. Good luck. See ya. I was like, okay. Can I get a ride back to my car at least? Like, he didn't help me at all. Like, but he had seen me in there like 2 or 3 times already, so that guy was done with me.
Yeah.
And you run into that sometimes too, but you just got to take it for what it is, and some people, to them, they go in at 9, they leave at 5.
Yep.
People like us, like we like to help people.
Right. But, but we have to have responsibilities for ourselves. I know I didn't have responsibility when I go out there and spend my money up. I didn't have responsibility, but when it comes down for you to go out and look, that's, rehabilitation, it comes in all forms, Corey,
Mm-hmm.
It comes in all forms to look for a place, look for a job, save your money up. If you have to catch the bus, to always keep your bus pass. Always keep a bus pass so you can get back and forth to work. It's responsibilities. Responsibilities comes back.
Yeah. What you're going to do with it and look at it like it's a new opportunity. I looked at it like that. And of course, I was like, I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to start a company, turn it to a nonprofit. I'm going to take people treatment. I'm going to make movies. I'm going to do all this crazy stuff. And yeah, ambition. I felt like it gave me purpose. It lit a fire every time somebody laughed or snickered or told me I couldn't do it.
Yep.
Thanks. I want to thank all those haters out there.
Yep. But Corey, I worked at Chrysler. I worked at the Chrysler engine plant. I was a machinist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was making like $34.90 an hour.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And I lost the job, to drugs. I did that. When I came out, I wanted to find another job like that, but I didn't. But I found a job, but then now I start collecting Social Security. All this happened at a later age for me, but. But Corey, sometimes you might get paid $50 an hour, but when you start back out, you might have to take a job that's paying $3 an hour.
Oh, waiter.
You just have to. We all want it back quick. Oh well, I'm clean now. I'm ready back to get my $50 an hour job. You have to. It takes steps. You got to be patient. Corey, back you talked about earlier, patience.
And you could have went down that hole that I kind of went down for a minute of, I screwed up my whole life. And what did I do? You could have thought, I'm never going to make that much money again. And then you realize too that you can live within your means, and like you said earlier, there's help out there.
That's right.
And there's options for people and you don't have to make $200,000 a year,
That's right. That's right.
You can do what you can to live reasonable, and there's nothing wrong with living reasonable, man. Living it within your means, and since you're not using drugs or drinking, like
that's right.
There's a lot of money left over that you're just like, holy cow! Like, how did I blow through that? I was making over
Yeah.
50 grand, which, okay, that's all right. Just a single guy. I was living check to check, man. Like it was,
Yeah.
and my house payment was
I
only
mean-
$600.
Mr. Winfield,
Mm.
I used to make good money, and I get to buying the drugs and stuff. And next 2 days, I used to be broke. I used to ask people at the job, can I borrow $20 or $30? So now it's like I'm making less and doing more.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. You know,
It's,
it's crazy.
it is.
And I sit down there and I think about that. I say, wow, it's just something. When I was making all the money, I was spending it all on drugs. But now here it is, I'm getting pennies, and I ain't making my pennies do more than me than when I was working in the factory.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there was after you got out of treatment, you went to the sober living home, and then you got caught up in a little something. So that would have been easy for you to get out of there and be like, you know what, F it, I'm done. But you're like, nope. Went back to Detroit for like a day, and you're like, nope, I'm coming back.
Wow. When and during that time, I went back around the people again, and when people see you get clean, them the ones that come at you, Corey. Them the ones that come after you. That, like they say, misery loves company. You know, they want you to sit out there and get drunk with them and get high with them, and then next thing you know, you're stuck out there with them, and them be the first ones to say, them be the first ones to talk about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be the first ones to talk about you.
Because you're not miserable like them. I remember, and I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if you were still in the sober living home, but we had just moved here, and some dude that used to work at the same treatment place, like he went off the rails, and he just started talking shit about me, saying that I only run the podcast to get chicks. Which I was like, okay, that doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever, dude. Like I don't feel like I'm famous because I have a podcast. Like, come on, man. And it was weird. And then he throws out, Corey slept with over 15,000 women, and I'm like, I don't even know this dude that well. Like, he doesn't even know one person I slept with. And he's thrown out there that I slept with 15,000. That's a lot of women, bro. I wouldn't have had time. Like, that's crazy. And Marnie's just looking at me like, who's this dude? And why are they posting this? And I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he talking shit? I don't, does he got me confused with somebody? Like, what is going on? But
yeah,
that's what they do, man. Like, he was drinking and he felt miserable and stupid, and hey, there's somebody who's doing good. Let me throw some shade on him, and don't know what he was going after. But again, I did a lot of stupid things and I was drunk too.
Oh man,
So-
we all did. We all do. We went in our right mind,
So I'm gonna make T-shirts. Say 15,000. Yeah, probably not. Probably shouldn't do that. I think Marnie would not like that shirt. She's like, you're stupid.
But Mr. Winfield, I tell you though, it's the choices we make, and it's choices we make. Just all you can do is just try to make the best choice, and sometimes best to talk to people and just be patient. Don't try to go out and get the $80 hour job. Just start off small. And one thing about me, Corey, is that, and I ain't been back to work in a while. Now I'm working now, and wow, man, shoo-wee, everything's hurting, feet hurting, and but it's a good hurt though,
Yeah, and before you make that,
at least I'm trying to get out there and do it. It's a good hurt.
it is, and you're feeling prideful. Like you have a purpose. Like you're not flying airplanes or anything, but you feel like, hey, I go in there and I do my job. Like you have a sense of pride when you leave if the lights are on. Unless she cuts the lights off and then you leave early, but.
but Corey, but everyone, you have to work. You have to work. That's one thing I find out. You can't sit there and be in a treatment center just lounge around there. It would be nice, but you have to get your self-will back out there and get a job.
Yeah, and really ask yourself those choices that you're about to make or thinking about making. You really got to sit down and ask yourself, is that my drug? Is that my drug making that choice, or is that me making that choice to get away from my drug? To put some distance in there, like there's a fork in the road. You got to make the right decision. So if you can make that, it's tough sometimes, and it's not what you want to do. But if you look at it as that's what I need to do, it kind of changes things and put things in a different light of, oh, I can't drink again, to, hey, I get a new opportunity to start my life again. This is exciting. I can be whatever I want. Some people, even like our buddy Justin, he's like, oh man, I can't believe, I got a job at Catholic Human Services here in Northern Michigan, and he gets to go into the jails and talk to people in there, and he wishes he could do it more. He loves it. And he's like, look at my record, look at my criminal record. And I got this job and I'm helping people. And it's like, because that criminal record was part of your past. He
crawled before he walked.
Yeah. In this industry, if you had a squeaky clean record, I don't know, like, what have you gone through? And not saying that you have to go to jail to be in this industry, but it, to where you were then to where you are now, it's completely, totally different people. And we're not going around and being judged by, hey, that's Tyrone. He's the machinist for GM. Hey, there's Corey Winfield. He's the, afternoon drive host for this station. Nobody's going around judging us like that.
That's right.
I don't think they should be judging us for our past with our, drug activity and the dumb stuff that we did because of it.
But Mr. Winfield, I heard on the news is that now it's really a good time to get jobs. And now they you have a bad record. They kind of being a little lenient now on that. They don't do very much drug testing now, and a lot of times, Corey, it just switched around. Now it is, let's see if you come to work. For real. Let's see if he comes to work. And they see you come to work every day and doing a good job there. That beats that people change.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real good change. And also a good thing, I think I was telling you, Mr. Winfield, a credit score. Yeah. See, I always bought things with cash and this and that. So now I want to get something bigger. I can't save up the cash. And I remember one time I asked you, I had owed a student loan. And I remember you took time out your day and hooked me up. And I think you got my student loan. Well, I only paid $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
and so I went and, applied for, credit card and all that stuff there. And it didn't show my record. It showed up saying that, I'm continuing still paying, but I didn't pay it on it at all. And I said, wow, ain't that something? That tells you, you could talk to other recovering people and they give you good advice.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, they give you good advice.
Because Marnie would tell you I give bad advice when it comes to finances, but I don't think so.
You gave me a good one that day. I mean, I was real surprised. It took almost 2.5 years to find out, but I said, you know what? Corey helped me out with that. Corey, I remember he told me to call his number, and I called the number. I went through the little stuff and paid $5 a month.
Yeah, because they were going to take your taxes. I remember they were doing something. You were like,
they took the taxes. Yeah, they took the taxes.
I was like,
yeah, they sent me the stub.
I was like, man, I gotta help Tyrone with this before he goes back to Detroit because he's having a hard day. I know you're so pissed.
Yeah, they kept that, and you showed me how you know things like that happen, Corey. But by me going out there and in them streets and buying drugs and all that, you know it. You know things happen, Corey. You know I ain't thinking it. When I'm out there drunk, high, I don't care about no. I don't care about no stool on. I don't care about nothing.
Right.
And then when you start getting clean, and then when the bills used to come, Corey, I get them and I wouldn't even open them up. I just throw them straight in the garbage can.
Yep.
That's what I used to do. I throw them straight in the garbage can. And then when I came over there to the treatment house over there with you all, then I started opening them up. I said, "Oh no, God, dog!" But at one time, I used to just get them in the mail and just throw them in the garbage.
Yep. I'd put them under other bills. They just kept piling up. And then finally, I'm like, let me scoot this to the trash.
and then the weird part is, and then when you get your income tax money in, oh, wow, okay, now I got some more money to get some drugs with. And then you file, and then they send your check stub. The student loan people that took your check. And oh boy!
Yeah, but if you stay on top of it,
there you go.
You know, there's ways around it. You know, like there's help out there.
Stay clean.
Yep.
Because if you like me, there, an addict out there, I was out of control.
A much better life we live today, and it's possible for a lot of people, and it just takes making that choice that's not made for your drug of choice, but you're making it for yourself, and someone has to be ready, and they have to be at that point. You know, it wasn't a one and done for us. You know, we struggled with it for a while, and then you get to that point, and it's like, okay, like let me make a better choice for myself, and that's what it takes. But there's a better life out there. Don't keep bringing up your past. Oh, I used to do this. I used to do that. No, I mean, you can be proud of what you've done, but some people are just so stuck in their past with, oh, I did this and I did that. And I'm better than them. I deserve this. I deserve it, because that's just going to keep you stuck.
That's right.
But, well, Mr. Tyrone, thanks for joining me on the podcast today.
All right, Mr. Winfield. We can sit here all day and talk, Mr. Winfield.
Yeah, and I'm going to get you a microphone. I'm going to send you a microphone or drop one off or something. So that way I can just call you and be like, hey, we're doing one.
Oh, man. So what that means, Corey, after I get to talking with you, I just put the mic in the air and just drop it on the ground?
No.
Oh, God. Dog. I see people do that. So I say, God, dog, so I can't do that.
Nah.
God, dog.
Unless you want to buy your own microphone, then you can do that.
Well, I just thought Winfield's out there. I see other people do it. You see Winfield?
That's a good question.
That's why. That's how come you have to stay clean, because you watch other people do it and you do it and it might not come out so good. All right, Winfield, how's the new animal doing? I forget his name.
His name's Hudson.
Hudson, God, dog. Not Kate Hudson.
No, like Hudsonville ice cream.
Oh, okay.
As Marnie said, what are some things that you love? And of course, she shot down my first answer. And so I said, Hudsonville ice cream. And she's like, okay, Hudson. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's getting bigger, huh?
Yeah, but I think his little arms are messed up, though. I think
like how?
I don't know. Like, he's bow-legged and like his bones they're not in the right, they don't bend in the right spot, man. It just seems weird. I hope he's okay and not in pain, because I don't want to go through another putting a kitty down again.
Yeah. Nico's still around, right?
Oh, yeah. Just mean as ever.
Well, yeah, I bet she is, yeah. and Nico won't be around probably the longest out of all of them.
Well, she's smart, so she might. But, all right, Tyrone. Well, I'll get that microphone, Winfield, and we'll talk again soon, man. Thanks for coming on.
Winfield. All right. Peace out, Winfield.
Later, man.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. For more episodes plus bonus features, download the 217 Recovery app and support recovery by rating us in the App Store.